What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mobile video. So today I do want to discuss the new Strongbox skin that did come out yesterday, and it's actually for the Ul736. So the Ul736 hasn't really received a lot of skins that I could think about. If anything, the Ul736 kind of faded into obscurity a while back, and I haven't really seen a lot of usage with the weapon. Don't get me wrong, it's still a pretty solid LMG, but it's not one that's been used recently given the better options that there are right now in multiplayer. I think it was like about 2 years ago where the UL started getting buffed and a lot of people started using it. It was actually starting to become the meta LMG of that time. And I know the Holger had a very, very long time to shine before the time to kill really started to ramp up with a lot of different weapons. But ever since then, I mean, yeah, this LMG isn't really that great. So yesterday I was actually hoping that a different Strongbox would come out, one for the USS-9. I heard it also has a different iron sight, but apparently not, because I did see some news somewhere on Twitter that it was going to come out on Sunday, but I think it might have been for a different version of the game, not for global. So it kind of came to me as a surprise when the UL got released instead. But I took the opportunity. I used my Ground Forces subscription to do at least 2 sets of 10 pulls. It was like a total of 800 COD points, which I didn't really have to do, if I'm honest. I mean, I could have just used the golden coupons, but I kind of want to preserve that for later. But yeah, I ended up getting this rather quickly, thankfully. My luck hasn't really been that great with strong boxes. It was at first, but I'm not really sure if the devs manipulated the odds to make them a little bit less generous, which I kind of, as I know this is going to be a controversial take, it is kind of a decent move that they made because it was pretty easy to get like the best skins within the first few tries. If everyone's able to get these things easily within the first like 5 spins, then they're not really going to profit off of it. And if anything, they already don't profit that much off of it, given that a lot of people have hundreds of golden coupons, silver, or even bronze coupons saved up. You could say that that little 30-day golden pass thing that they have for like $10 might be the thing that helps profit for it, or even the gold, like those little milestone, or those premium milestones from tournament mode do help it profit. But yeah, I'm not sure if they really make that much money, and that might explain why the quality of those strong boxes are kind of starting to lower a bit. Now, for a little bit, let's actually talk about this new Ul736 skin. So, of course, since it is a strong box skin, it has a higher likelihood of having different iron sights and different, higher quality epic skin features. It does come with a scope within the class setup that it's built with, but you can take that off, and it does show that it has a very, very different iron sight. I've seen some mixed opinions about the iron sight. For me personally, I don't really see anything wrong with it. I think it's a pretty cool one. It's very rare often that we have like some sort of sight that's like a circle like that with 3 prongs. It kind of reminds me of that Heartbreak M4 skin that got released like 3 years ago. But it also reminds me about a lot of different iron sights that LMGs used to have back in the old Modern Warfare games. I'm not talking about the reboot ones, but I'm talking about the ones back in like 2011, 2009, and so on. I did hear some complaints also about the iron sight, saying that it provides a little bit too much aim shake. And it's not really the screen shaking, but it's more of like the iron sight itself shaking when you're shooting. It's very weird to explain, but basically when you're firing, like the screen's just shaking like crazy. That's usually the aim shake that a lot of people are referring to. But there's other shaking, like, when you're actually shooting the weapon, but the iron sight itself is the only thing that's shaking, which I can agree, it's a little much, but it's not something that is really to get bent out of shape for. The body design of the gun, yes, it does shape the gun a lot differently than, just the original default skin of the weapon. And I do have to say, it is pretty clean. It's just a simple white finish on it for the most part, but it is kind of clean, but it also does help with, I guess, the camo coverage. There's no rough edges around it, so it does make a lot of different parallax camos a lot more, like it makes them stick out a little bit better. Usually blueprints with like very rugged designs or just very rough edges around the body typically don't have, they're not really that great with parallax camos. If you're going to use something like futuristic, ether crystal, or maybe polychromatic, I do recommend using a skin that is a lot more flat in design. For the sake of the video, I just chose Power Nova. I don't know why. I could have chosen Borealis, but I feel like that's starting to become a little bit too common, so I kind of want to shake it up a little bit. Another feature worth noting, well, I don't know really if it's a feature, but for some reason when I put the OWC laser on this thing, it seems to be red. I'm not sure if this is a feature with the blueprint itself, or maybe it's just a random bug. I think the OTS-9, for some reason, if you put that OWC laser, it's actually red instead of green. Unless they fixed that, I don't know. I haven't really used it for like 2 seasons. But given that the appearance of the laser looks a little bit different from the original laser, because typically the normal OWC laser is usually kind of like rectangular, but this one seems to be more roundish. So this has to be a custom type of attachment. So I'm assuming that the red laser might just be a built-in feature with the blueprint itself. Another thing worth noting is that there's not really any sort of different reload animation, unfortunately. Again, like the quality of some of these blueprints with the strong boxes are starting to kind of decline a bit. But yeah, there's no other unique features with it other than just the iron sight and potentially the laser. So yeah, that's basically the Ul736 Paler. So yes, again, it's not a crazy blueprint, but it is one that does change the geometry, which is, let's be honest, with the Ul736 specifically, it is quite rare. It's not every day that a Ul736 epic skin that actually changes the geometry completely makes its way into the game. And honestly, I kind of wish the S36 had this skin instead, because I feel like that one's in dire need of it. So let me know whether or not you guys think it's worth picking up for yourselves. And yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys next time in the next video.